guys, Becky here at Design Bundles, and I'm super excited to have you join me today because we have a really awesome sublimation tutorial for you. This time, our project is going to be these really awesome summer cooling towels. Alright guys, so here we are in Sawgrass Creative Studio. Now of course, I've been doing a lot of tutorials on Creative Studio, but remember that the same principles apply to other designing software. So this is just a basic design setup. The first thing we're going to do is go to Custom Canvas, change our dimension to inches, or rather our units. We're going to do 8.5 by 11 because that is our letter size paper. And that's going to work really well. Let's go over to Galleries and My Images, and we're going to upload 2 new images to play with today from our Downloads folder. Now I picked these out because, obviously they're very similar, and I just figured this was a good time to go ahead and put one on each side. And you'll see more what I'm talking about whenever we get to our project. I'm very excited because summer is definitely in full bloom. So what I want to do is size these down. Let's see. We're going to do them separately, and I'll tell you why. Let's go ahead and rotate because I want these to be roughly 9 inches wide, if we can. There we go. That should be good. And we'll just plop that right in the middle of the paper and print. And we are using polyester today. So now we just have to wait for Print Manager to pop up, which should be any time. It does take just a few minutes for me. And there we go. So we have our preview here. It looks good. All of our settings still look good. We will just print. And we can get rid of that one and do the next one. And we're going to repeat the same thing. We're going to rotate it. And then just sizing wise, we're going to bring it down a touch because I want that 9 inches. And then print again. So the printing part is very simple, and once we head over to the project, I will definitely show you why I chose 9 inches, and hopefully you guys are as excited about this as I am. This is a really neat project. It's probably one of my favorites for the summer, and summer is definitely here, so let's head on over to the workspace. Alright guys, so here we are. I have our 2 gorgeous sublimation prints, and this is the project we're working with today. Let me tell you more about this guy. This is a polyester cooling towel, okay? What I really like about it, of course, you can get it lots of places, Amazon. I got this from Discount Mugs, which if you haven't seen them before, they're a promo website. So sometimes that's a downfall because you usually need to buy in bulk. But guys, these are really cute. So you get the holder and you get these really nice bright white cooling towels. Okay, they're pretty large. And by large, I just mean like they're pretty long. Now, if you don't know what a cooling towel is for the summer, what you do, especially if you have a cooler nearby, you're going to go ahead and soak this in water. All right, you can even use a water bottle, whatever you have handy. And then you will wring it out and you can put it around your neck, or some people will use it for their face. You don't want it over your face, although it is very breathable, but it's basically just a way to keep cool. Once it heats up due to your skin, you're going to, you can add more water eventually, but you don't have to right away. You just take it out, give it a shake, air it out, and it will cool right back off. So really awesome. I live in Florida, so especially with sports that the boys are in. But where I'm going with that is we always just dumped them in the cooler, which, you are sweating on them. So do you really want them in the cooler? Not really. But then at the end of the day, like, where do you put them? Because they're soaking wet. And, I guess you could carry a bag, but I like having a container to be able to put it into, of course, until we wash it. And I don't know if this is ever, anything that I used at like a baseball game, but my daughter calls it the snack tray. But guys, it's not a snack tray. It's a little stand that pulls out and it holds your cell phone. So just a side benefit. But like I said, you can get these just about anywhere. You don't have to get the ones with the container. It's just something that I like. So I told you guys I would show you how I decided on my sizing. So this wraps around your neck, and these are the parts that you see. Not often, okay, but if you're gonna see part of this, it's gonna be down here on the ends, which is also what made me decide on 2. So what I did was I laid it out, got my handy dandy measuring tape here, and this is where I decided on 9 inches. So 9 inches will literally go side to side, leaving about an inch on each side, okay? Now, you can also do these as a full sub design, all right? Especially if you have like a wide format printer, or you can piece together different sheets all the way down. So definitely very, very versatile, I feel like. And because it's nice and bright white, you get really good results. So I'm going to separate these. I have 2 sets of butcher paper because we have 2 designs. I'm just going to lay this out. Now, if I want to, I'm usually a pretty big fan of using my adhesive spray. I don't really need it for this design in particular. I'm just going to turn it over, go ahead and center it. You notice I didn't go all the way to the very bottom. That's okay. I'm just gonna go part of the way down, just make sure that my butcher paper is in place. And I tried to center these before I printed, so that takes care of some of that worry too. I'm gonna cover it up again with butcher paper. And then I actually have this at 375. White can really scorch, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna do 375, a little bit of a lower temperature, and then I'm gonna press it for 60 seconds. I don't have to put a lot of pressure. I'm just more or less just holding it here. And then after about 45 seconds, I'm gonna go ahead and move it on over to the other side. And look how good that turned out. So that's what I was talking about, just getting the really vibrant colors. All right, turns out really, really good. All right, so let's switch over and do the other side. All right, there we go. So literally from start to finish, you're looking at, you know, it took us, what, 2 or 3 minutes in the software and about 3 minutes. So in less than 5 minutes, I have a brand new cooling towel. And especially if I were going to make these in bulk, like I said, these are really great. I make them for the boys' baseball team. And, you know, eventually I'll probably make them for, you know, non-team related purposes later on in my life, because you know eventually we'll be done with our youth sports, right? But super easy, super cool. Even the kids like them, and they're just really a very fun project to have for the summer. So guys, how did you feel about our summer cooling towel? Now, you know, you can often see me sporting one of these in the summer. Here in Florida, I feel like it never cools off, which I know isn't true, but man, it sure makes for a long couple months. But with these cooling towels, your outings don't have to be quite as miserable because they certainly do help you stay a few degrees cooler. Now, of course, sublimating them was super easy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. We got some really, really vibrant colors, and that means a lot to me with sublimation. So I'm going to wrap it up for today, guys, but make sure if you have any questions or comments that you leave those down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, maybe turn on notifications or share with a crafty friend. I love all the support that you show for us here, and that definitely helps us to keep the little channel going. So thanks again for stopping by. I do really appreciate it, and we'll see you again next time.